The scene opens with the group sitting around a tavern table. Sunraku is wearing a pumpkin head, seated at the back. He pitches an idea to the team to invite Rust, Moro, and Akane Akitsu to join their clan. Pentagon questions if this means bringing them directly into the core clan and keeping their top secret info on unique within this tight-knit group. Oikatsu agrees with this move, noticing that all three are highly skilled players who wouldn't drag the team down. Then the conversation shifts specifically to Akane. Pentagon asks Sanraku for more details about her, recalling that Sanraku mentioned she carries a unique curse very similar to his own. Sanraku confirms her status. He looks back, clarifies that just like marks he received, her curse came directly from the unique monster Sigworm. Pentagon looks serious and repeats the name Sigworm, the golden dragon. Sanraku casually places down his cup. He smiles and said they should gather more information on the monster since it's available. Pentagon seems troubled, prompting Sanraku to ask if something is wrong. Pentagon explains that compared to other unique monsters, players have spotted Sigwom much more frequently. Sanraku notices that because of the frequent sighting, plenty of data already exists. Pentagon adds that the community believes a coordinated raid could successfully defeat him. Pentagon explains that the maximum party size in Shangri-La Frontier is 15. And when staging a large raid, it requires multiple full parties, not just multiple individual people. Katsu guesses that Pentagon is hesitant because her clan, the Wolf Gang, won't gain any inclusive information from a massive raid. Pentagon admits that that is part of the reason, but not the only thing bothering her. She looks stressed and deeply considers the idea. She admits that Katsu might be right, suggesting it might be the best for them to recruit those extra members into the group. Sanraku points out her unusual hesitation, asking why she is being so indecisive. Pentagon jokes that perhaps Take is clouding her senses. Meg politely interrupts the serious conversation to ask if anyone wants to place an order. Sanraku declines, while Ada apologizes to Meg for ignoring her. Pentagon happily orders a sake refill and adds a serving of Titanic flies to the order. Katsu is completely shocked, yelling at her for ordering a mountain of food, especially after she already ordered a Titanic-sized portion. Pentagon casually remarks that the potatoes are just a staple food, but Sanraku gives her a deadpan look. He questions her unhealthy diet consisting of nothing but fried food and mentions the high cholesterol, causing Meg to panic and defensively claim she ate some veggie sticks too. Meg looks down at her stomach in worry, admitting that Sanraku might be right and that the heavy food might finally be getting to her. Pentagon quickly jumps in to comfort her, telling Meg not to be silly because she is already in great shape, leaving Meg looking completely surprised. A heavy drunk Pentagon stands up and laughs loudly, declaring that Toa Amane, the lovable model, saying she is in great shape. Sanraku panics and snaps at her, warning her not to be blunt about her real name because someone might be listening. Pentagon completely dismisses his concern, mocking, calling him pro-gamer K Oumi. Sanraku yells at her to stop, while Katsu wonders if she simply couldn't hold her drink, and Meg remarks that Pentagon has gone off the deep end. The room suddenly goes dead silent as Meg looks between them in realization. She softly repeats the real name, Toa Amane, Megumi Natsume, and Koi Oumi. Ada turns her attention to Sanraku with a silly, drunken smile, pointing out that it is unfair that he is the only one whose real name they don't know yet. Katsu immediately backs her up, agreeing that Sanraku having a one-way advantage isn't nice. Sanraku looks immediately concerned as Katsu pressures him for his real identity. Katsu demands that Sanraku at least gives them a name, even if he keeps his face hidden. Sanraku furiously rejects this, calling it a total invasion of his privacy. Pensogan playfully teases him, promising they won't misuse it. But Sanraku snaps back that she is the person he trusts least in the entire world. Amid the argument, Ada suddenly stops with a thoughtful expression and realizes something. Both Sanraku and Katsu look at her completely confused by her sudden shift in attitude. Sanraku gives in slightly, stating that he could reveal his name if they accept his conditions. Pensogan is willing to listen, while Katsu groans at the mention of more weird conditions. Turning to Katsu, Pensogan casually tells him not to worry because she doesn't expect anything from him anyway. Katsu demands to know what that means, while Pentagon bursts out laughing and Megs quietly eats a fry. As Katsu begins talking about what happened over the past days, Meg watches the group interact. She silently thinking to herself that while being around them often leaves her pretty clueless, she is still enjoying it. Meg continues her train of thought, thinking about how seeing Katsu in this completely different kind of light has really been a treat. In the background, Sanraku and Pentagon continue whispering and plotting something together. Katsu, noticing Meg staring and casually asks her what's up. Meg is caught completely off guard, staring over her words as she tries to figure out what to say. Looking warmly at Katsu, Meg smiled genuinely and admits she was just thinking about how glad she is that she took his invitation to join the GGC. Sanraku and Pentagon both pause and look over her, touched by her sudden, heartfelt honesty. Sanraku reflects on their recent tournament, noticing that fighting the best players in the USA for real was a valuable experience he may never get to do again. Pentagon smiles genuinely and agrees, adding that it takes an event like this for all of them to finally gather together in real life too. Katsu chimes in with a smirk, telling Sanraku that he could easily do it again if he just decided to turn pro. Sanraku quickly dismisses the idea, reminding Katsu that turning pro isn't on his mind right now. Pentagon focuses on his words and teases him about saying for now. While Meg looks on with a smile, Sanraku panics, yelling at Katsu for trying to coax him into the pro scenes, which makes Pentagon break out laughing. Katsu smiles softly, closing his eyes as the laughter winds down. He quietly reflects on the situation, admitting to himself that Sanraku is probably right. The scene then changes to Sanraku's house. Sanraku arrives home, stepping into the living room and calling out to announce his return. On the couch sits his younger sister, Rumi, who is reading a magazine and glances up at him with a thorough, unimpressed, deadpan expression. Completely ignoring his greeting, Romi turns away with a sharp hug. Sanraku signs, complaining that she is being way too cold to her big brother after he's been gone for 3 whole days. Rumi raised back on the couch, bluntly remarking that she was actually really enjoying life without an older brother around. Sanraku asks where their mother and dad are, and she lazily responds that one is in the bed, the other is feeding the insects. Sanraku grabs a drink from the fridge while lamenting that his time away is already over. He then wonders aloud if she is still throwing a tantrum just because he accidentally stained her shirt a while back, which instantly makes Rumi flare up with anger in the back. Rumi stands up on the couch and screams in rage, shouting that the stained shirt featured a design by Toa Amane that she absolutely loved. Sanraku casually brushed it off, making excuses that the stuff just spurted out of the bottle by itself. Looking into the fridge, Sanraku notices there is only one energy drink left. He turns around and asks Rumi if she drank the rest of them, Rumi looks back at him with a smug, defiant grin, asking what if she did, and questioning if he really thinks a cup of energy drink will be enough to quell her rage. Sanraku suddenly remembers something and walks away from the fridge, telling her to wait a minute because he brought back a little souvenir for her. Rumi looks over from her magazine, sounding confused. Rumi tells him not to bother trying to cheer her up, still looking thoroughly annoyed. However, Sanraku extends his hand, holding out his smartphone towards her. On the phone, a pre-recorded video plays showing a cheerful, energetic Pentagon, revealing herself as model Toa Amane. She brightly calls out, shouting a personalized greeting to Rumi, and teasingly adds that Rumi's brother, Rakuro, treats her really well. Rumi is completely paralyzed in shock, staring opening mouth at the screen as the video continues. Towa thanks Rumi for following her socials, while Rakuro panics, yelling at her not to give her sister the wrong idea. Towa goes on to mention that she heard Rumi is doing reader model work for fashion magazine, adding that she would absolutely love to see her fashion sense sometime. The video nears its end as Towa reminds Rumi that Rakuro knows her email address, encouraging her to send over some pictures. She even promises to trade them for some private shoots of her own. Toa finishes the video by blowing a kiss towards the screen, saying she can't wait to check out the pictures. Rumi watches the screen intently as the visual kiss flies out, making a soft smacking sound against her forehead. The sheer shock completely overwhelms Rumi's brain and she falls backward onto the couch with a massive thunder. Rakuro looks down on her in concern, asking if she is okay. Rumi lies there completely short-circuited, her eyes vacant. She mindlessly stammers out towards Amane's name over and over again. Suddenly, a sharp realization hits Rumi's brain as her eyes widen up. Rumi suddenly snaps back to reality and springs out from the couch with wide, crazy eyes, screaming Toa Amane's name in pure disbelief that the model actually made a video message specifically for her. She begins hyperventilating and losing her mind, screaming that this is completely crazy. She aggressively interrogates Rakuro, demanding to know how he knows Toa and what she meant by saying he treats her really well. Rumi points a troubling finger, dynamically changing her mind and declaring that it was to be a fake. She insists that a shut-in game nerd like him could never have a connection with a top-tier model, especially since she was wearing a weird anime outfit in the video. Rakuro just smirks confidently, teasing her that she clearly isn't just a casual fashionista if she is this invested. He pulls something out of his bag, saying that if she truly worships altar of the dynamic Toa Amne, then one look at this will settle whether the video is fake or not. He holds up the fashion magazine Rumi was reading, revealing that it now has a fresh handwritten signature across the cover from Toa Amane herself, specifically personalized to Rumi. Rumi inspects the magazine cover with a look of absolute awe, instantly recognizing the distinct handwriting and the round heart symbol at the end. She realizes it's undeniably Toa Amane genuinely autograph. Noticing that as a true fan, she could never mistake. The reality completely sets in as Rumi stares blankly, realizing that if the autograph is real, then the personalized video message must be completely real as well. A wave of pure euphoria washes over Rumi as her face lights up with a massive gleam. She gets a nosebleed from the sheer excitement of realizing that she is actually about to trade personal contact information with her idol, Toa Amane. Rakuro looked on with a satisfied smirk on his face, crossing his arms. He confidently tells his sister that if she managed to stay on his good side from now on, then maybe she will help her make it happen. Rumi tackles Rakuro in frantic hug, sobbing and begging for forgiveness for being mean all the time. She promises to buy a fresh fry of energy drink first thing in the morning if he will just give her toy email address. Rakuro flashes a delightful wink grin, telling her that a six-pack of Riot Blood energy drinks will do the trick. As Rumi celebrates joyfully in the background, Rakuro laughs like a true villain, thinking about how easy foolish humans are manipulated. Rakuro heads up to the bedroom and tosses his heavy bag on the floor with a loud huff. He collapses heavily on his bed with a tight sear, letting out a deep breath as he realizes that the GGC tournament is finally completely behind him. Sitting in his room, Sanraku pulls out his smartphone and checks through his messages. He smiles with satisfaction, thinking about how he can finally focus all his energy on Shangri-La Frontier again at long last. He scrolls through a long list of messages containing game tips and strategies. He is genuinely amazed to find out that his friend and fellow players have been gathering massive amount of game intelligence specifically for him while he was away. Realizing he has a lot to catch up, Rakuro sits comfortably on the edge of his bed, deciding he needs to thoroughly read through all the compiled notes to get back into the groove. He struggles to remember exactly where he left off his game progress before the tournament interrupted him, trying to recall what his immediate goals were. Memories quickly flood back as he recalls setting out on a voyage with the enthusiastic young NPC Captain Stad. He remembers how smoothly everything was going until they actually ventured out into the open seas. The recollection takes a dramatic turn as he remembers the terrifying appearance of the giant unique monster Katanid. The creature dragged them down into Lulisia, the legendary upside-down city, kicking off a glare, high-stake, unique scenario governed by a strict imposed time limit. Sanraku notices the whiteboard schedule tracking the availability or progress of his group members, Akitsu, Rust, and Modo. He looks up at the digital clock showing the time, 22 hours and 35 minutes into the day. Realizing it's the perfect hour to log back in, he puts his full drive VR headset. A confident, determined grin spreads across his face. Takes over it, declares that the real fun for him is now just getting started. The visual reality system boosts up, flashing a glowing cinematic title screen across his field of vision. Welcome to Shangri-La Frontier. That's the end of the chapter. If you're interested to continue, please wait for the next chapter as I will release it soon. Make sure, please, if you enjoyed the video, to like, subscribe, and leave a comment of which other manga you may like me to narrate. See you next time. Thanks for watching.